Okay. At this time, we are calling on the ZIMWORX team that is to give us a presentation on their transformation journey. The conversation is to be led by Mr. Samuel Muzivi. Let's welcome Mr. Samuel on stage for this conversation on the ZIMWORX transformation journey. Thank you.
One, two. Good afternoon. I don't know why Doc does this to me all the time. When everyone is tired and full and about to go and request for a siesta, he then asks me to speak. But I'm here to represent my country director. His name is Tonderai Nyakuwa. He was here earlier on, and unfortunately he had to run away for other business. But we just want to share the journey that we've had to walk as a small company in the midst of so many different things happening, not only in Zimbabwe, but internationally. I must just also thank the other speakers that have gone before me, and my sister speaking about inclusion, and the doc speaking about design thinking, and many other presentations. I will just want to also say to you that as an organization, we currently are employing 65% of our team being female. That is a difference to the traditional way, and we are very proud about that. And to my dear, the doctor who's just spoken about design thinking, when our managing partner, his name is J.W. Oliver, spoke about employing a person to occupy the office of business intelligence, we thought this was just a waste of resources. But this person comes to work not to think of many things, but design thinking, thinking of how we can move forward and stuff like that. So I think there's something good we are doing as a company, and we are again very proud of that. I will not really take a lot of your time, but I'm here to talk about the transitional journey and transformation journey which we've had as a small company. We're not very old, 5 years old now. And when I joined the organization, when I was thinking now, hearing some of my colleagues here saying, the old people who have been stuck in the company for too long, those people, no, we don't want them, they need to move on. And I'm one of those old people that I'm thinking, oh my word, what are these people thinking? Should I just let go of my job? But over the last 5 years, I joined the company when we were only about 60. And today we are about 950. This is within a period of under 5 years. Not only have we had to do that, we are ZIMWORX as a labor outsourcing company. We employ people here in Zimbabwe, and they work internationally for the global village. So we have had many things to think about and things to face. One of which is we are very happy with the Generation Z. Everyone is chasing away these 20-year-olds, I'm a 2000, and saying that these guys are a headache. But I am here to tell you that the average age of our team is 25 years old. It's all on the computer, and 95% of them are degreed, and they have amazing skill sets. So when everyone else is thinking these guys are difficult to handle, but those are the very people that we are embracing. So that has helped us as well, and that has brought lots of gray hairs. Because first of all, dealing with the Generation Z, they are so volatile, they're so energetic, and they push you to so many things which a traditional leader would not want to venture into. So that has challenged us to even look at the design of our organization. And this is where for us, OD is not only a human resources function, but it is actually a business development function. I think we need to take the HR function out and replace that and say this is a business development approach. That's a paradigm shift. Different, and I'll tell you, for example, dealing with these young people and changing a mindset and an environment, we've even had to change the way, the names of our departments. For instance, traditionally, we have the HR, isn't it? Everyone HR, how many HR people are in here? But if you come to ZIMWORX and you say you're looking for HR, you won't find them. They're not called HR. We call them team experience. Interesting. We say team experience. And for recruitment, we don't call them the recruitment team. We call them the talent acquisition team. Because it's relevant to the generation that we are talking to. Our IT department, we've had to change that, and we'll call them the tech support. Even our front office, we call them receptionists, isn't it? Receptionist. You walk in, there's a receptionist there on an old boring desk, and all they're doing is they look up and hello, and that's it. But for us, we don't even know what a receptionist is. We have what we call a director of first impressions. And tell you what, she owns that space. She rises up and she says, welcome to my space. I'm the director of first impressions. How can I help you? A paradigm shift. Our cleaning department, we don't call them the janitor, we don't call them the general worker, we don't say sekuru or CC or, you know, those titles, oh, auntie, the titles we give. We don't hear anything like that at all at ZIMWORX. We call them the Excel team. And guess what? When you see them, they own their space. These are some of the challenges that we've had to face. Now, many people spoke about the COVID period, how much that was a challenge, business folding and things like that. Just before COVID, we started a department, what we called at the time, pastoral care. Our companies has a model where we want to give back what you will term CSR, we call it ministry. And we started a department called pastoral care. And that department they actually come to work, and I'm part of that department. They come to work to support our team members emotionally and physically and spiritually. That's all they do. So for a team of 900 people, we have 8 people, a fully funded department that's second highest in the organization, whose mandate is to make sure that these people are well. For many businesses, we're looking at this as an expense, but we choose to see it as an investment in the future of our business. Now, the HR person, as we traditionally have been designed, have been told that we take care of the wellness issues in a department, in a company. But we've had to relook at that, because today you are doing the hearing sessions. Today you're doing the disciplinary function. Today you're doing the wage negotiation. And tomorrow, I, as a team member, we don't even say employee, we say team member, I have issues that I'm going through. How can I come to you for my heart issues when you're the very person who denied me getting a wage increase yesterday? So we said, no. We need a separate department that's called the Wellness Department. I'm proud to say, just last month, we opened a new wellness center, which has a doctor and medical team who stand specifically to offer medical assistance to our team members. So what other organizations are seeing as expenses, we are seeing these as resources, so that we create that environment where the workplace becomes a community. A community where, when you're facing issues at home, you can't wait to get to work, because you know that when you get to work, there will be assistance available for you. So it has not been an easy journey, but we've had to really look, especially now that after COVID, when we were so few, and straight after COVID, our numbers started to grow, and each year we're growing by more than 100%. So what that has done is the traditional way of doing things, and even our original design of the organization, more so even our systems, all that fell on their head. And we've had to now bring in a new way of thinking, and we deliberately brought this new way of thinking into 4 buckets. First of all, the people, the processes, the system, as well as the environment. So instead of moving backwards, we've even set such big, hairy, audacious goals, where in the next 9 years, we want to employ 20,000 people in Zimbabwe. So the workspace has now been transformed in that, like I said, we have a Generation Z. A lot of our children are being educated even outside the country. Now, straight after school, they fly on the plane, they come back after 4 years, they walk into the house, and they see this old Madala, old woman, and they wonder who this person is, because they really don't have the parents had to send them away to university, and they have no relationship. As a result, the home front, it's broken. Not only are they Generation Z, but they're coming into a home to see a father or a mother that they have no relationship with. And we've identified that. As a company, we've had to come up with programs to build capacity for those young people. Because now, can you imagine, we're sitting with 900 of them in one space. Some are educated in Turkey, some in India, some in China, some in America, some in Bulawayo, which is a different culture to the culture Manicaland or the culture in Harare, and they all come in one space. And besides, they've not had any grooming at home, because father and mother We're all working so hard to pay for the fees, and they never invested in them. So we now, every week, we have 3 programs that we run just to build capacity. We speak about grooming, we speak about financial intelligence, we speak about budgeting, we speak about boy-girl relationships, we speak about sexual education. And all this is happening in the workspace. And trust me, my dear friends, it's not an expense to the business, but it's actually an investment to the business, because these people become invested in the company. Finally, I'll say, with the wellness department, even when people are not well, we want them to come to work. The impression they'll give as they represent the company to the clients, we want it to be well. This is why even in our mission statement, we've put across the mission statement to say commitment to excellence while making a global impact. Why? Because when you represent the organization and you're not in a good space of wellness, chances are you're actually doing a disservice for that organization. Now, the HR people are always managing and limiting the expense part of the business. But trust me, I'd rather invest $100 in the wellness of my employee so that they can put out a good name for my organization, and with the global village that is there today, that will bring even more clients for the business to grow. So we've had to have a paradigm shift completely and look at what we traditionally thought were just cost centers, and we've started to look at them as actually points that can bring in more business for us. As we speak today, we, as I've said, the workspace, and I'm glad Doc has been to our offices, we've transformed all that to a place where you even have some greenery, some stations on every Friday. Our guys come to work knowing they're going to have 1 hour or 2 hours of entertainment in the office during their break. So at the end of the day, all we really are saying is organization development should not be seen as some cumbersome procedure which is just there to become an expense to the business. But if anything, design thinking, being creative, being innovative, all these become essential for us to achieve even bigger heights. This is why for us, we set a target to reach 1,200 people before the end of this year. And we are going to achieve that. And guess what? In the next 9 years, we are going to attain the 20,000 team members target. So thank you very much. I just wanted to share a little bit of our story and to inspire us that what every presenter has been speaking about, it can be done. We are proof that it is being done, even though Zimbabwe is as hard as it is. During COVID time, we had a team going around delivering medication to our team members who had tested positive to COVID. Now, when they recovered, do you think that team member would think about, I need to leave this organization? Not at all, because they know that they are central to the planning, to the design, and to the implementation of everything in that organization. Thank you very much.
I think the job titles there, or the department titles, are quite motivating. And I can envision the organization taking ownership. Director of First Impressions, I'm sure when she dresses up in the morning, she makes sure she looks the part, because she's not only representing herself, but she's also representing her organization, and she needs to make that impact. So well done. Thank you very much for that contribution. Do we have any comments? Okay. Okay.
Thank you very much for your wonderful presentation. Maybe we can collaborate and maybe share notes with what we are currently doing. Yes, I think you are moving in the right direction in terms of changing the narrative, the nomenclature, some of the titles that we inherited. We have become prisoners of such things, and they are now a liability of the past. So we need to reinvent the wheel. For us, we have also gone to the extent to say, instead of saying human resources, we call such officers or managers as happiness managers. Happiness managers. Happiness managers. And also we call some of them the people care managers. So you can see the thinking process that you don't need to have a title that is combative. You need to have a title that is welcoming, a title that speaks for itself. If I say a happiness manager, what do you think if you come to my office? Obviously, your face should be radiant. But let me just also maybe say to speak to the wellness. We have a serious wellness agenda in the city of Harare. We have employed more than 9 officers. And these are wellness officers. They take care of our employees right from home up to the workplace. They look at your micro problems, even at family level. They do counseling, they do financial wellness, they do social cycle wellness, and we have extended to the physical wellness at workplace, whereby every Wednesday afternoon, we encourage all our employees to do sporting. And it is a policy. For as long as you are registered, you need to do some sporting of some sort. And we run a league from April up to the end of the year. And they are winners at the end of the year. Why? Because we are just saying, if an employee is looked after, if he or she is well, then you expect productivity to go up. Occupy their mindset so that they will not think about anything that is negative. Occupy them throughout the year. You know, sport is loved in Africa and I think across the globe. So if they do sport, you sponsor them, you make sure that they compete very well. I will tell you that we've got more than 22 teams in the city, and they'll be competing for about 5 prizes at the end of the year. So you can imagine what will be happening. They are very fit. Then we've also extended it to the other local authorities. Now we have what we call the intercity games. It's a culture that we say, make sure your employees are fit for the job. Well, some of the jobs are quite, heavy and manual. If you work, in the roads or whatever, it's really heavy. And we have coordinated. We now have about more than 14 local authorities that are participating in the wellness programs throughout the year. And we are now linking to the SADC, Inter-Municipal Wellness Games. They are held every year from one country to the other. I went to Zambia where I made a presentation about the games. And this coming year, I think they will be done in Namibia. So the wellness agenda, ladies and gentlemen, all I'm saying, the long and short of it is that it should be part of your DNA, not only but even at home. Even at home, embrace the wellness culture. Don't stress your wife, don't stress your husband, don't stress your children. Collaborative thinking, design thinking at home level, embrace our kids when you plan your budget, the microfinance or family finance budgeting, include your kids so that you move together. So this is what we are doing. So I'll be exchanging notes with you, my brother, so that we can exchange notes. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments. I think forums like this are very important. I never imagined the city of Harare having a wellness department.
Thank you, Sam, for confirming that leadership mind can be rewired. To me, this is a living an example of a rewired leadership encompassing the mindset and the heart set. I'm just trying to recall the minister's presentation yesterday to say, where are these people that are supposed to be sitting in this room listening to this rewiring representation? We struggle to review our policies. As I speak right now, we're talking about the policies that were introduced maybe in 2017. And let's see how much change has been in. We're talking about COVID. COVID did not just land in Zimbabwe overnight. We read about it 4 or 5 months before it came. We never prepared. We just ignored. We assumed it's happening somewhere else and it never landed in Zimbabwe. So eventually we can't have that proactive mind. So for us really to get things going, we need to think ahead. Like we spoke about the organizational design. I think these are the issues that should really be spoken about almost on a daily basis. But thank you, Sam, for confirming that this is possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Mine is really a comment. I was actually motivated by your presentation. And I think in terms of, I think the things that I took away were issues to do with wellness. It has to be deliberate. And as leadership, you made a deliberate decision that you're going to make sure that your workforce or your teams are well, their well-being is actually in the positive. So I think as leaders in this room, we need to also have that purposeful approach of saying, okay, what do you want with where we are? As we're talking in the morning, where are we? And where do we want to be? And then the in-betweens will decide when we're there. So that's one of my points. And then I also realized that, you're touching because your age group is between 25 and whatever, 60, you're actually meeting the needs of everyone. It's no longer about, okay, no, these are young people. And I think because where we're going, we need those young people to know how to run those businesses when we're no longer there. So that's a good approach. And for them to also understand the business idea, the business behind not just making money and having the fancy things in life, but how do you actually run a business? So I think you're inculcating a very good culture within your organization. And then the last thing I wanted to say was companies, sometimes including mine, they're always talking about, okay, investment or expense. Yeah, and it's a thin line because you have to decide, is it an expense today? Is it not going to be an expense tomorrow for you, for the rest of your team? So let's be careful with how we then see expense and investment. Which eye are we using? I think that's my question really. Yeah, thank you so much. Oh, sorry, I just wanted to find out from Sito Harari, do you actually track with the employees that you have, do you track how many people are actually actively involved in, the sports, the whatevers, and those who are not really active, what's the alternative?
Yes, we do the statistics by department, and we are operating at around 40%. So we do encourage those who are not, active. We tell them the negatives about, not being involved in sport, and we try to encourage them so that they can, get involved. So yes, we are currently sitting at 40%, and our target is to be maybe around 80%. Yeah, so that is our target. But change, especially for the old, yeah, it takes a bit of time for them to embrace change. But for men, they've really embraced, especially soccer. That one, I think, is operating as a sector. I think it's operating around more than 65%. Because Bora.
Thank you. So thank you so much. I just wanted to perhaps bring a word of caution. So the hype about our youth and how our demographics are speaking to youthfulness. In my view, we should not perhaps design our organizations and our workplaces in a way that sort of suggests animal farm. 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. Because the attitude of our youths right now, for me, they need to be humble enough and to take the time to learn. Yes, we want innovations, but some of the old practices that have gotten us to be where we are today are not that bad. Just like, was it Stephen in the morning was applying appreciative inquiry and saying, let's not just turn a problem into the positive, but really appreciate what is still good about it. That is my question, because this hype about youth engagement, youth involvement, if we are not careful, they will throw out the baby with the bathwater. And then I wanted to find out from you, ZIMWORX. So how would you characterize your organizational culture?
Thank you. We actually have an organization culture, and we call it the growing together culture, where we say to our team, you do the best you can, and if everyone does that, it guarantees growth, not only for the organization, for you, the team member, for the clients you're representing, and for the charitable work that we also do. So that culture is backed by what we call the win-win-win philosophy. We instill that in our team to say, when you do what you do to the best of your ability, it guarantees growth in that we're creating more employment opportunities for the people of Zimbabwe that don't have to fly out of the country and mess up the family structure, but we're creating opportunities here. Secondly, the clients that we attach you to, those clients, their businesses also grow. And lastly, we have a big chunk of our profits that go to charity. So everyone, as soon as they arrive, we instill that. And that is what we tell our people to grow and to see and to live and to breathe. Every month we have prizes that we give out as well, when we just walk randomly and say, tell us, what is our culture? What are our values? What have you done this month? And stuff like that. So we are promoting an inclusive culture where everyone has a part to play and contribute to everything else. The last comment about Animal Farm. We are driven by profitability. Our shareholders, they're serial business people. And guess what? In as much as we play hard, but we also work hard. And at the end of the day, I think we're doing a good job of the combination of both. So it's fun and work, and play all in the same package. Thank you.
Comment on the health. I love this conversation, and I love your examples, because it's really a manifestation of what we're talking about when we talk about human-centered, right? This is really when it comes. You might already be doing this, but another connect the dots that happens with now the focus on health is that we're able to go back to my sister's presentation on org design. So we worked on a project in Oakland, California, where the hospital system, Kaiser, one of the biggest hospital centers in the West, they were doing the health programs, but then they were also looking at where was it in the organization, which functions, which departments, did they have the health issues that were. So what they found was a pattern that women were going out because of migraines, stomach issues. The common theme for men was my back is out, what do I call it, depression. So through a health appreciative program, you're also able to track where in your system is there tensions and dysfunctions that are needing to also be looked at. So that's another way. The other piece is on the generations, because I agree. And especially I talk about a hyphen, but here in Africa, as we study your scholarship on development, is what you call the hybrid experience. And it is a critical conversation, because you know that you need to grow in order to innovate, and you're depending to innovate from these young folks that are coming from other countries, but they're a hyphen, and there you have it, they're coming back. So the piece we're finding some success with that, Sam, is introducing compassion with wisdom in your leadership. Compassion, I care, I want to hear what's going on. The wisdom is the leadership, and that is, I'm going to tell you the hard things in a good way. I don't know if this is totally counter here, because if not, there is a concern that we're growing a generation of wimps. I went to school, I need to have a safe place, there's this need, and then when they get into the workplace, they're expecting the manager to act more as a parental figure than that guy. I don't know if that resonates with you here, but it is something that we're looking at in other parts of the world, because now there's an imbalance for certain groups of psychological safety. Really means that I need space for this. I don't know if that's resonating for folks, but just something that is coming up in other parts of the world, and thought we can link it. We're linking dots. We're connecting the dots. Not necessarily are you going deep into the dots, but you start seeing how you're impacting the whole ecosystem with one program, health. Also look at where the non-health issues are coming at and where your generational needs are. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I think there was a question online. I guess it was also the same question that he addressed on how do they measure the employee wellness. I think that was a question that you were answering. You did answer to it. All right. I'm reminded of the right trend slogan. She will say, "Tino Gona." Is it? Yeah. And it shows that what they did or what they are doing, we can copy it in our own way and do it in our own organizations to thrive as well, because they are thriving in the local environment. So it's possible, it can be done, and it will always be done.